Hello there, it's Haley with the Armageddon Report. This is cycloking.com. We're taking a look at Tropical Storm Debby, who's still alive and kicking the heck out of Florida, that is, with lots and lots of rain, wind, storm surge, tornadoes even. Now, rain-wise, my God, man, to give you some context of how much rain this area is getting, let's look at the rest of the country and you can see not a whole lot. We're not seeing any of these dark reds, there's some yellow up there. Yellow would apparently be 1.5 inches of rain. However, over here, whites, purples and whites, that'd be like 6 to 10 inches. That's how much rain northern Florida at least passed. Apparently, if you were right there, it was completely dry. But if you travel just a little bit east, you'd be absolutely soaked yesterday. So unsurprisingly, this is the river gauges and whatnot that are in flood stage of varying, so minor flooding, or actually it looks like it just shows, yes, minor flooding, moderate flooding, and major flooding, whole bunches of them down in Florida. North Dakota, Minnesota also got some flooding going on. North Carolina apparently with just the one, and then Idaho or Montana, can't tell which state that's in. Anyway, but Florida, lots and lots of flooding going on. So to go back to here, the map on cycloking.com has changed a little bit. The base layer, or whatever it's called, has now been changed to this. Not sure if I can keep this or not, we'll find out. But if you go hover over this, you can actually change it to different things. Maybe you'd like that one better, I don't know. Or this minimal thing, or watercolor, that one is kind of pretty, I don't know. But so that's the default right now. Also a new feature is some of the different satellite images. So, for instance, with this. Now, if you read this paragraph, wherever it is, the satellite views, this is not exact. I tried to get as close as I could, but you'll notice, which one is really bad. I think this big one, maybe. Anyway, you can tell, the Texas border, it's going up here, and then boom, it drops down there. So obviously, these overlays are not precise. So I point that out so that if you're comparing, if you're looking at the tracks and then overlaying the satellite image, keep in mind that the tracks are not precise when you're viewing them in the context of the satellite image. But anyway, so we've got that, and that one too. So if you want to look at different satellite pictures, this is the AVN, the aviation version of, there's a whole bunch of different ways to look at what the satellite stuff is. So I'm going to see if I can build something in where you can choose, if you want, what do they have, Dvorak, I don't know how that's pronounced, RGB, rainbow, they've got all kinds of different, options. I don't know what any of them mean. Anyway, so that's what's new or something. So otherwise, Eastern Pacific, Atlantic, other than Debby hanging out over Florida, it's all quiet. There's no predicted things coming up in the next 48 hours. No new things coming up in the next 48 hours. So where is Debby? Debby is down here. And they are now showing, apparently Debby's going to actually start moving, because generally the path has been here, and then in the next 5 days she'll be there. So she is apparently going to stop moving. So they're not seeing hurricane status yet, or if at all. And, can't say right now because can't see where it's going. But hopefully, once she moves over Florida and just completely clears, she'll be out in the Atlantic and not affecting anybody at all. Right. So moving on to where it's flipping hot, right? That's the other news. So if you look at this, my God, man, that's a lot of purple. So lots of states are seeing 100-degree temperatures today. Oy vey, I believe is the phrase. So all of this red flag advisory, that would be fire-related stuff. That could be because it's either hot, dry, it's droughted, or a word like that. I believe, if it's dry, dry and drought goes together, whatnot. And peach color, lovely peach color, heat advisory, excessive heat watch down here in Arizona, I do believe. Yes, excessive heat watch, that's what that darker is. So apparently if you live in any of these areas, you're either about to be on fire from literal fire or fire, metaphorical fire, because it's so flipping hot. Right, but hopefully you're in one of these lovely areas. Well, maybe not this lovely area, because then you're going to get too much rain. But Texas in a slight risk, Montana in a slight risk as well. So if we take a look, here is the watch that's currently in effect. Severe thunderstorm watch for Montana until 5 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. And then elsewhere, so here is or not elsewhere, but here is the specific chance of wind today. So here's just slight risk in Montana. and then the 5% for some reason dipping way down and touching a bunch of states. Texas is slight risk, and then the 5% around it. And Florida's 15% chance of severe winds, and then the 5%, so basically Debby. Not surprisingly, hail-wise, hurricanes don't drop a lot of hail, or actually hurricanes probably drop no hail at all. Anyway, Texas, 5% chance, and then up here what we have going on is both a 15%, so as high as a 15% chance for Montana, and then in the black hatched area is where very large hail could possibly occur. Tornado-wise, again, Florida with the biggest threat. In fact, almost the entirety of Florida is covered in a tornado probability. And then 5% for most of the state as well. And then Montana and North Dakota with the 2% up here. So if you're not familiar with the numbers, what does this 5% chance mean? That means if you randomly picked any point in this brown area, that means that there's a 5% chance that that random point or someone within a 25-mile radius of that point will see a tornado today. But there's like 100% chance that they'll be affected by Tropical Storm Debby, most likely. Tomorrow, who knows what's going on with that? So we flip on over to here and we see Florida still, of course, in the bullseye of it. That's probably, again, going to mostly be tornado and wind threat. And then Minnesota up here with the 5% for tomorrow. Day afterwards, who knows what that means? So we go over here. This is still day afterwards. Day 3, also known as day after tomorrow. Right, Nebraska, Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, a whole bunch of states, and Florida. So as you can see, since Western Florida not in it, apparently Debbie's going to be going away soonish. I don't know. Days 4 through 8, still predictability too low. So what would that mean? That means as opposed to probability too low, or as opposed to something actually being shown on the map, there is severe weather predicted in days 4 through 8, but timing and or location is not yet certain enough. And of course, if you go down here, you'd actually be able to read about the medium range models and what they are saying with subtle shortwave troughs, whatever those are. Right. So if you would like to watch this screencast later on and can't remember how you got here or something, I don't know, you can go to severeweathertv.com where you can see the current screencast as long as I've updated the site, or the old ones, so you can see what was happening previously or something. And you can also click on lovely little links or something. Yes, and if you like severe thunders or storms or something, you go to WickedWix, WICKEDWX.com. If you like, I don't know, if you like hurricanes or you don't like them or something, cyclocane, CYCLOCANE.com. Of course, there's also the National Hurricane Center for hurricanes. There's Storm Prediction Center for severe thunderstorms. And then there's weather.gov for your general US only, of course, severe weather in general is at weather.gov. Who would have thunk it, right? Anyway, that's it for today. Hope you enjoy your day and hope you stay safe out there.